What's up? Dan here from Code News. And today I wanted to introduce you guys to something really cool that came out not too long ago called V0. This is by Vercel. This is the people that make Next.js. And it's a AI, generative AI chat that you can use specifically when you're working with like Next.js or React. It's very accurate and it's really cool what it can do. So I wanted to show that to you guys a little bit today and also talk about why it's important to stay updated with new developments in tech, especially if you're new and starting out. Because I think a lot of people worry that AI will both take tech jobs and if you're learning, it'll become a crutch and, kind of either hinder or limit your ability to actually learn how to code. And I would actually argue against that. I would say AI is one of the coolest tools out there now for new developers who are learning because it can show you how to code, it can help you answer questions, it can explain code. And really, it comes down to using it correctly and not relying on it to do all the work for you, but to actually help you better understand what you're doing. But I wanted to show this off today because it's a really cool new sort of AI tool that's out there. It does a lot. And, we'll go from there. But I wanted to first mention that, what this is optimized for. So this was built by Vercel. It's called V0. This is the company that makes Next.js. So it's really optimized for developing React and Next.js applications, so full stack web apps. It's good at designing and implementing UI components. It's really good at explaining web development concepts and technologies. It's great for troubleshooting and debugging code issues. It's also good at illustrating system architecture and workflows. It provides good code examples for learning or reference, and it can assist with performance optimization in web applications, among other things. It's really, really cool. So let me first show you how this thing works. It works like any other, AI that you've probably used before, So if you go to https / v0.dev, you can access this. You will need to log in. But let me just show you real quick. So I'm going to say here, let's say generate a single page web app portfolio for a web developer with the following sections. Mhm. Mhm. Hero, about. So I just put in generate a single page web app portfolio for a web developer with the following sections: navbar, hero, about, services, projects, and contact. So what I really like about this is, as you can see, I entered that prompt and it very quickly started to create the code. But then what it also does is it has this preview. So you can actually preview the code that it's creating working, which is really neat. I think this is one of the coolest things about this is that it really takes the guesswork away because you can actually see that the code that it's generating is working in this preview window. Now, the preview window will work in most cases. In some cases, it won't if you, ask it for things that like maybe need an API and stuff, because that would, without the actual keys and stuff, it can't access that API. But let's look at this. So really quickly, and now I didn't give it a lot of information in my prompt. You can be more precise or less, obviously. I just wanted to show this off. So we have, our about section, services, projects, contacts. We have our little nav bar up here, right? We have our excuse me, we have our about section here, right? With the about me, the hero, we have services that are offered, projects, and a way to get in touch at the bottom with a form. I mean, this is pretty impressive, built very quickly. You'll see it also gives you the file here with the actual code itself. And what's really cool about this is you can download the code, you can copy it, you can actually create a fork, which is neat. One of the things I love about this too is you can actually share it. So if you hit the share link, you can actually create a link and share this with anybody. So I found this very useful, like when we're working with our clients. Um, it's nice to be able to just be like, hey, check this out. If you're trying to answer a question or something, you can just share your literal chat here and show them what you're looking at. It's really awesome. It's a very powerful system too. I've been super impressed with this since it came out. So if you see here, it'll also give you some information. You can also ask it to explain stuff. So we could say, let's say explain how the nav bar works. And so one of the things I love about V0 personally, and I've used a lot of AI because I find them I think personally, if you're going to be a developer this day and age, you need to know how to use AI and use it effectively because it is a tool that makes us more efficient, faster. And I think it also makes us able to learn how to code way, way quicker. So check this out. If you ask it to explain, it'll do like, if you've worked with ChatGPT or anything like that, it'll give you a very clear explanation of what the code does, why, how it works. And I think this is also important. If you're learning, right, this is one of the coolest things about AI. Whether you're using V0, ChatGPT, Gemini, one of the best things as a new developer, if you're learning, is if you don't understand something, copy the code, paste it in one of these chats, and ask for an explanation. And all of them, I found, give you very good explanations to help you understand what's going on. And this is one of the ways you can leverage AI to really learn a lot faster and grow as a developer. Not only that, once you start, say working, doing freelance work, for instance, these kind of tools can make you way more efficient and faster because guess what? When we code projects, there's a lot of stuff that we do over and over again, boilerplate, right? You can use these to help you, actually do your work quicker and generate better products and, better quality products. So this is a really advanced system, V0. It's one of the best out there. The way I found out about this, and these are the other thing I wanted to mention, was I'm actually on Vercel's email list for developers. So I get emails about new developments. I'm also on Google's email list for developers. I would highly recommend if you're a new developer you're learning, start getting on these lists so you're aware of what updates are happening when they happen in the tech field. Because I mean, we've all seen with AI right now, like I mean, things have just changed so dramatically and rapidly over time. And if you're not on top of things, you will fall behind quickly. So if you haven't, I would highly recommend check this out. V0 by Vercel, really awesome, really powerful, and very accurate. Especially like I work with Next.js a lot. I really like Next.js. It's one of my favorite frameworks to code in. I think it's really powerful and awesome. One of the downfalls is it's very fairly new and it gets updated often. So what I found with Next.js is like if you have a question and you go to ChatGPT or Gemini, oftentimes they don't have the most up-to-date information. And so what you'll get back is maybe information for an earlier version, things like that, and it doesn't work. What I like about V0 is that if you do specifically work in Next.js or React, it's got the most accurate information. The answers it gives you are very detailed, very clear, and the code's really good that it generates. You will notice too, one side note that this generates code in it by default uses TSX, so TypeScript. You can actually ask it to generate the same thing. So we can say, generate the portfolio single page app in JSX. And so say I wanted to work in JavaScript instead of TypeScript, all I have to do is say that in the actual prompt, and it'll actually generate the same code for me, but redo it so that it's or it'll create similar code, but redo it in JavaScript instead of TypeScript, because that, depending on what you prefer to work with. So it's really neat. I would definitely recommend, guys, check this out. These tools are really powerful. I know they're scary sometimes because it seems like, they might take jobs or whatever. But in reality, I think, you'll find that you become a better developer using them. If you're going to be a developer this day and age, you need to use this kind of technology. They're just tools. Use them well, ask questions, ask them to explain code for you if you don't understand it, and you'll get further faster in your learning process, in your coding journey, and overall. And you see it's already done. So we've got the same thing now, except now it's coded in JSX instead of TypeScript. So if I didn't want to use TypeScript, that's all I have to do, and now, boom, I have it. Yeah, so this is very exciting, really cool. So many new things come out all the time. I know it's overwhelming, but try to stay up to date with this stuff. I highly recommend, like I said, get on those dev email lists so that you can get this stuff and you know what's going on in the industry. I hope you guys like that. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more content coming up.